Now, Times Media Group, owner of, among other titles, Business Day and Financial Mail, has unveiled its video-on-demand service that's going to give consumers instant access to hundreds of television programs. The online streaming service, called VD, will enable consumers to watch their favorite TV series, as well as movies and documentaries, anytime and anywhere. There's a little more news from the entertainment sector. The 2014 Showbiz Entertainment and Arts Expo recently taking place at Sci-bono here in Johannesburg as part of the Johannesburg Arts Alive International Festival. The expo aims to connect interrelated creative industries to encourage growth as well as partnership.
The Showbiz Entertainment and Arts Expo started off from when one started getting into the creative industries and also being a consumer of the creative industries and not being satisfied with what one was being fed, and started a business out of that need to contribute towards changing the creative industries or just the broader sector as such, you know. And that resulted in starting a conference and exhibition project, which is what we're talking about here, aimed at addressing a lot of gaps.
You know, we're ready for a shaping of, you know, a new country, a new position, a new, you know, vision, something that we all kind of share in. And corporates, government, and everyone else have the opportunity now to kind of formulate what that is.
We want to lead the conversation and the realization that integrating conventional or traditional products and services with new models and digital technology within the sector is evolving the business of Africa's creative future. Our vision is simply to be Africa's premium thought leadership exhibition in showbiz, entertainment and arts.
All right, I think it's fair to say that online shopping has revolutionized the way we go about our purchases. It means that business is really good for online retailers, but maybe the trend is taking its toll on traditional stores. This has left, as we're going to explain to you, many a shopping trolley down and out, so to speak. The social media agency Have You Heard, together with takealot.com, coming up with a very clever concept, calling on its customers to adopt a trolley. Here to tell us more about the campaign, Have You Heard's Ryan McFadden. Welcome, and thanks very much for joining us. Why would you pick on the poor, humble supermarket trolley?
I think with the advent or the growth of online shopping, what we're starting to see is that less people are going to shop in stores, and the first thing to really go would be the trolley, because people are buying less, so they're using baskets, or they don't really need to even utilize a trolley. So it was the easiest target.
I mean, it's a bit of a stretch, but we'll let you get away with a hyperbole. What were the mechanics of the campaign?
So basically, we wanted to create an overall integrated campaign. So what we essentially did is we went and found trolleys, put them around Cape Town and Johannesburg, begging trolleys that were robotically made. We had graveyards showing that they'd kind of died of despair because they had no purpose in life. So basically what we essentially did is, by creating those trolley installations around the country, we also utilized the hashtag RIP trolley. People then were utilizing Twitter and Facebook to try and find out what this RIP trolley element was. So we appealed to people's sense of curiosity, and the reason that we did that is that it's becoming more and more difficult to disrupt people's everyday lifestyle. So what we see is that standard consumers are bombarded with 900 marketing messages a week, and we remember 4. So we need to have that element.
So you've got to jolt them out of convention, in other words.
Correct. So you need to take a bit of a risk to try and create that element of curiosity so that they're intrigued to find out more about what this overall campaign is about. When we play too obviously, people see it and they don't really remember it. So by leaving it unclaimed, so to speak, with just the hashtag RIP trolley, we drove a lot of engagement on social media. We then released the video utilizing social media, Twitter, Facebook. We utilized our overall emailing database from the Takealot base, and we sent it out.
Okay, Ryan, you're ticking all the boxes here as far as I can see, but you did come in for a bit of stick, and you need to answer this question. Some said it was dangerous, it was irresponsible to leave trolleys lying around. There was a bit of a flurry in the Johannesburg suburb of Melville, where people at one point were talking about a bomb scare. Is this irresponsible marketing?
You know, Jeremy, I think that there's always an element of risk with these type of campaigns, because it's kind of guerrilla installations that you have to put. We put all the safety mechanisms we could into the overall element. We had people watching the overall trolley installations to make sure that they were kept safe. All the banners that we placed around Cape Town were tied to very tightly so that they couldn't fall off and couldn't cause an element of danger. So every single installation had somebody watching over it.
All right. Response and the outcome eventually, what was it?
So response was very, very positive. In terms of overall return, on Twitter alone, we saw 5.7 million impressions, 1.3 million AVE. We saw positive sentiment predominantly. I think there was 0.3% of all the overall impressions were negative sentiment. Everyone really just talking about how successful it was. We saw thousands of trolleys adopted via our online app. We have listed the repurposed trolleys onto Superbalist. We've even gave away a trolley at the e-commerce awards. We've even seen some celebrities around the country actually ask for their own.
Lots of touch points in that 360-degree circle. Was it cost effective though? I mean, is this it's a good idea? Is this an expensive campaign?
Without touching on the actual cost of it, what we've seen is we've seen a return of around 10 to 1 in terms of spend and then overall coverage received. Obviously, we received.
I mean, that's a good return.
We did. So I mean, what was great because of the curiosity element, we saw radio picking up on it, we saw TV picking up on it, obviously across all social media. So the return was very, very strong. And I think that it's actually the movement that we're seeing from traditional media because of the lack of awareness moving to non-traditional because
if you can create that earned media, it's going to benefit the brand.
Correct. And it's a more credible actual conversation that you're having with the brand.
Okay, this is a bit of trend-setting work. What's the big lesson here for brands going forward?
I think that the element is looking at how we can actually disrupt a consumer's day today because, as we say, a lot of them are not engaging typically with your traditional media. So if we can actually do something unique, something innovative, consumers will embrace this and they'll actually engage with the brand and create awareness on our behalf. And they shared it. And that was the real thing, is that consumers took the messaging, shared it on our behalf, and that was where the overall sort of awareness came from it.
Okay, Ryan Fadian, thank you very much indeed. If you engage with the campaign, you can engage with us on our Facebook page, and the address is on your screen. More to come on Mags on Media as we look at internal brand communication. We'll also visit the recent Highway Africa conference at Rhodes University.